What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to another Black Desert video. So today I wanted to talk about, is graduating from the Olvia Academy early worth it? And we're going to be talking about the rewards, what I think you should get, and who is it really benefiting if you're staying until the end near April to graduate. Now, this isn't necessarily something that is really super time gated because you can get all the rewards in a couple of weeks. But I just want to talk about some of the notable items. What is it worth doing? And so every week, if you didn't graduate, there's a quest you could do over here, right? Or 3 of them, and pick up another one from Cliff, which is kill the 200 Buccaneer enemies over here. So usually doing all 3 of the quests, assuming like 2 of them are combat, 2 are life skills, probably is around 2-ish hours. And that gives you like 180, like 30 tokens or the green seals per quest, and then another, I believe, 90 from the kill quest. So I think realistically, most people will be just fine if they graduated, within, now till whenever. But is it worth staying, ungraduated is the question that people are probably asking. I get that a couple of times a week. And so, yeah, let's talk about the rewards. And the way you graduate anyway, regardless, is if you're on the academy, you basically have to 100% all of these things. And if you didn't already, make sure to get the academy pass and then finish up all of these. It gives you a bunch of extra XP. So you can't even graduate until you have it at 100%. And this isn't like season characters. You know how seasons are, unlimited, and this one just kind of feels like a tutorial, and once you're done you just wait until they come out with part 2, I guess. But anyway, what are the items I think you should work on before graduating? Getting everything that's important, like the fail stacks, especially the hammers for new players to get your black stars to convert into sovereigns, and then anything else is over here. So I see a lot of people saying, oh, you get like 180 every week for doing like 2 hours of work and getting all the cron stones. If you're an endgame player, this doesn't really mean anything. You just go grind an hour and you make more in like literally vendor crons than you would in all these stones over here. But I think that if you are a newer player, this might be helpful for you, but realistically, with the amount of silver people are making these days, you could just buy these off the market realistically, and then like an hour of your time, even if you're on the seasonal characters or just doing anything else, will probably be more beneficial. So yeah, so let's talk about this in terms of 90 or 180 coins a week, right? That's what you're getting. You're doing 3 quests for 90, and then the kill quest is 180. Let's talk about that. 180 crons, that's what, let's see, almost 600 mil. So if you are not making that in 1 hour, this is beneficial for you. But if you're making over 600 mil an hour, then you can graduate early, assuming you got everything. So let's talk about all the items. The things you can't get with silver, obviously you get these. And then this thingy, the Rebellious Spirit Crystal, is 500. Usually that kind of fluctuates up and down. It'll probably go up in the future just because this is an end game crystal that everyone uses for PvE, so it's just a really good one. And yeah, so this is one of those crystals that a lot of people will need. Cup crafting for your accessory cups if you are in the mid game. These you could just buy off the market, so like 100 coins is probably like an hour for 50 of them. And then let's actually look at the market, and let's look at the flame prices for all of these things. Yeah, I think even a little, if you're endgame season, which is max gear or slightly out of it, assuming you have your triple black stars, you're probably making around 2 bill. You can make like a 2 bill in an hour and a half regularly, just doing a bunch of different things. So I think realistically, these are not really super important to go for. These might be, depending on where you're at, but probably not. You could get a lot of massive pure magics from having the node on and all that stuff. So probably not. Just get everything else that's over here. And just in case you guys didn't know, just getting all of the knowledge you can always do. I would say let's talk about this real quick. Which ones, after all the changes, the last time I made the video was Fairy Breath. I think they reduced that number from 300 to 100, and I talked about that in some of my gathering spot videos. So like if you're a new player, I'm just gonna show you some easy spots that you can do around here by the Heidel Forest. Just go around this path on all these nodes. You can do that by the river. There's a bunch of herbs if you like gathering, and then, you know, anywhere else you can go. But I just picked out a spot that I did one for newer players just because it's right near town. If you don't have a lot of weight or inventory, you can just put them into storages and it's good to go. Let's see. Fishing is just fishing. If you're having trouble with red grade fish because you can't catch them in the academy, just go to Velia Coast over here. Or honestly, a lot of spots have it, but this is the most common and most consistent amount of silver. So I would say just around here to Velia Coast, you can just go fishing. You'll get a red fish just throughout time. Hunting, I don't think there's anything really difficult about hunting. Wild Sparks is affected by your mastery, by the way. So in case you guys are thinking, oh, this is kind of slow, mastery is affected by the number you make. Cooking. So by doing the entire thing, you didn't get enough materials to get all of them. I think you had a majority of it. So in case you were missing a few, you could just buy the missing ingredients. But aside from that, probably the most time consuming one, if you don't know what you're doing and like you don't have all the recipes, it's probably making the seafood cron meals. So one tip for you guys, like especially the new players out there, you go to F2, which is the adventure board, and then you go to crafting notes. You could look up any meal or just whatever you're looking for. For example, seafood cron meal. Do that. I know there's a lot of sites that tell you exactly what to do, but you can do that in game without even having to tab out. So that's always nice. Same with alchemy. There's nothing really crazy about this one. Training. This one used to be tier 7. I believe they changed that to a tier 7 or a tier 8. So it makes it a little bit easier, more or less. But this one's still probably the most annoying one, but not too bad. Farming. Here's a fun one. There was one where it's like collect, what are those green things? The little green fruit thingies. You could actually do that if you're pre-harvesting and you have this quest up early on. Or you could do that from gathering. You know, if you're doing herb gathering, those also count, which I thought it was only farming only, but it's not. Selling and bartering is probably the easiest one, surprisingly. You just use the free boat they gave you. But in case you don't know how to graduate, let me just show you real quick. Go in, this is the front, and it's actually kind of hidden. You don't really notice it because like when you're turning around, you don't see a door over here. Just turn around and go up. And then that's where Justin Bartoli is. And then he'll have another quest for you. And you just say that like Olvia Frontia thing, and then you just finish. And then you get another 300 of those green seal coins, which are, you know, done. So make sure to get at least all the important ones, like all these, the things that you could turn into a lot of silver, especially. And these will help you for new players. And then the only ones I would recommend you could probably leave behind are these ones for your upgrades, because realistically, I would not recommend crafting Fallen God armors these days. You could just save up and buy like a try, or even a, yeah, I would just say at least try for most people these days. And making it will just, like, you have to really calculate the Capra stone price of everything, which usually breaks even, or maybe even, it might be even more to craft it nowadays with all these materials. So for Fallen God armor prices, I would probably just recommend buying it at try. So let me just look at it real quick. Risk. That was the first one that came to mind. Yeah, so like if you're spending 18 to 20 billion, you're probably thinking like, oh, I could save 7 billion. It's probably going to cost you around 7 billion to get it to duo on average. So my recommendation for most people is just to buy it at like try at minimum. So like try not to enhance it if you can. Just go from try or even tet. I understand that for most people, saving up 200 billion silver is actually very difficult because, you know, like as a newer player or even mid-game player, 200 billion is a lot of upgrades for you guys. So I usually tell people it's cheaper and more effective to buy it for sure, but I would generally go for the enhancing route for this one just because most people cannot grind, you know, 200 billion silver that fast, and it's just going to be a long struggle. It's like here a week and a half or maybe 2 weeks of just saving and making no gains to the point where you might as well just tap it and hope to get lucky. We've always been giving feedback to Pearl Abyss to try to lower this Agris Essence number from 50, because 50 is like, if you go hard pity on that one, it's not great, but I think they should be cut in half and then it would be a lot better. So anyway, with that said, is it worth graduating if you have all the stuff early on? Yeah, but you could probably leave these behind for reasons. It's not that important. But with that said, just wanted to clarify, just get all the good stuff and then you can graduate. There's nothing really else to it like seasonal characters. So anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.